welcome to another Rambling review from Adventures in TV Land. For this Rambling review, we're going to talk about The Marvels. Now, The Marvels is the latest movie in the MCU. It features Captain Marvel. This was originally supposed to be called Captain Marvel 2. It was originally completed about 2 years ago, but it has been in development hell since then. There was a massive amount of reshoots that were done, supposedly taking almost up to 6 months on this film, and there was a lot of different editing. The director, at one point, the film was not yet completed in post-production, and she left and was directing another movie, another project, and she just basically abandoned the movie when it was not yet complete. I went into this movie thinking it was going to be horrific, in all honesty. After having seen it, I have to say it's not a horrible movie. It's just a ho-hum movie. There's nothing that really stands out about it. The general plot line, I guess the villain's name in this movie is called Darbin. She is a Kree who's taken over the Kree Empire, and she wants to get revenge on Captain Marvel because Captain Marvel, when she destroyed the Great Intelligence, started a civil war. Somehow, because of this artifact that she finds that is helping her to get her revenge and help her to revitalize the Kree Empire. The powers of Captain Marvel and Ms. Marvel, who I had not seen the character. She had her own TV show in Disney Plus, but other than that, I didn't know anything about her. Monica Rambeau, who was seen in WandaVision and a few other, I think she's had a couple other minor cameos here and there. But their powers become entwined. They switch in places anytime they use them at the same time. The film, like I said, it's just kind of an average film, really. 10 years ago, this would have been a lot more exciting. There were some really random elements in the film that didn't make sense. I guess the only reason they were in there maybe was for filler purposes. Like, there was this one planet they visited where the people did not actually really speak. They sung everything. And I thought it was going to be a giant dance number based off of what you saw in the trailers. And probably at one time there was, but they edited a lot of it out. There's not a ton of the singing and dancing, but there is a little bit in there. And it really doesn't make any sense. I mean, honestly, the whole concept is it's beyond corny. This whole race of people that all they do is sing and they don't actually really speak. I mean, their language is singing. And then there are some of the people, though, who are bilingual, who don't have to sing and can also just talk normal. And then there's this whole other subplot with I guess it's the Flarkin, the cats, that Goose, the one cat Goose is. There's all these little cocoons and pod things just start showing up on the Saber space station where Nick Fury is at. And it turns out to be they are all, I guess, baby Flarkin. Saber basically starts falling apart, the space station. That's not really explained directly either. There is a little teaser at the end. The setup starts setting up the Young Avengers, which I could probably care less about. And then there is also a post-credit scene with Monica Rambeau that ties into the Fox X-Men movies. I'm not very optimistic that Marvel, the MCU, and Disney will actually bring in the X-Men properly. They've screwed up so many things. I'm sure they're going to screw that up as well. Anyway, the film overall, it's really short. It's about a 90-minute film. It doesn't feel very long. First half hour to 45 minutes it's very entertaining. After that first about 45 minutes, it gets into kind of some of the weird stuff. In all honesty, Brie Larson, I know she takes a lot of crap, rightly so in many cases, but she does a decent job in this movie. Brie Larson is an excellent actress in smaller films. Probably one of the best films that Brie Larson was ever in is a movie called Short Term 12, and she does a magnificent job in that film. She does really well at smaller pieces. It's been these larger, really action-based movies where she is completely out of her element. Anyway, even Brie Larson, she gets a little bit of opportunity to show kind of her acting skills here. There's a good range of emotion. You actually, after the film builds up and you kind of realize who some of the other characters, you become familiar with them, the audience does have sort of a connection to them a little bit. With that said, there are some things that aren't really very well developed that could have been very well developed. Instead of the filler with the singing planet and the thing with all the cats, could have made this movie a lot stronger. For instance, the difficult relationship between Monica Rambeau and Carol Danvers, Captain Marvel. There's some deeper themes that could have really been tackled in this film, at least more in depth, and it could have made stronger characterization. They're glossed over completely. So the Marvels, like I said, it's not. I was expecting a disaster film. I was expecting something on at least the level of the Eternals. That is not the case here. I mean, there is some bad CGI. I mean, there's obviously there were some problems they had probably rushing through, even though this film was delayed so long. But so much was changed. CGI effects are not very good in certain sequences. But it was not the train wreck that I thought it would be. I was very surprised by that. So on a scale of 1 to 10, like I said, this was not the train wreck that I was expecting it to be. I'll give it like about a 4.5, I guess, because it's not a horrible film. I mean, it's not. For the most part, it's a decent. It's not something I'm going to watch over and over and over again, or it's like, oh my gosh, that was like the best thing ever. But it's not the disaster that it probably should be, in all honesty. That is The Marvels. This has been another rambling review from Adventures in TV Land. Until next time, that's a wrap.